Hello, and welcome to She Leads Biotech, the podcast that celebrates women leaders in the bioscience space. I'm your host, Sharon Cox, CEO and Managing Director of CNA International, based right here in New York. And each week I'll be talking to women leaders about their work, their triumphs and challenges, providing invaluable insight into how women can unlock their superpowers and succeed on their own terms. So whether you're navigating your own career path in bioscience or you're passionate about science and innovation, I hope you're empowered and inspired by each episode. Back in the summer, I had the opportunity to sit down with a visionary leader and delve into her remarkable journey in heart disease treatment, blending the power of AI with precision medicine. Growing up in a tight-knit family, resilience and a belief in limitless potential was instilled in her from an early age. Values that fuel her dedication to diversity, female leadership, and collaboration in healthcare. This conversation is packed with insights on patient recruitment, the future of clinical trials, and the power of mentorship. So join me in welcoming the incredible woman behind these biotech innovations, President and CEO of Invivo Sciences, sought-after TEDx speaker and Titan 100 CEO 2024, Ayla Annac. Ayla, hi, how are you?
Hi, Sharon. Thank you very much for being here and inviting me as your guest. Very humbling and
Absolute
exciting
pleasure.
experience.
Absolute pleasure. And where are you based? Where are you? Where am I
Uh,
speaking to you from?
Currently, I am in United States Medicine, Wisconsin.
Oh,
That
in
is our
Wisconsin.
base. Yes,
Very
the
nice.
colder place.
Is it chilly?
Now, at this time, it's a beautiful summer months for everyone to come and visit, but winter times only the people will enjoy the cold.
Right. Okay. That's not that much different to New York, I guess, is it?
Not much.
Yeah.
The only thing you have an ocean effect, which that makes the little here then much more, I think, um, warmer in some cases. We have a lake that's frozen, so that is why it's maybe a little more colder.
It's definitely on my list of places to go. I've heard it's beautiful, particularly in the summer and the fall months.
Yes, that's beautiful. Really nice beach in the up north and the lakes, and also we have some really healing woods or kind of walking paths, beautiful rivers.
Lovely.
So it's just nice to be here sometimes in the sun.
Beautiful. But you didn't originate from Wisconsin, did it? I mean, like me, you have an accent, so you didn't originate from Wisconsin. Where did you grow up?
No, I have actually arrived here from a different country, from Turkey and
Okay.
from Istanbul. This
Okay.
is my original background. Although I have a family line that is a mix of Europe and I think the Turkish is sort of a mixed bloodline that I have came to Istanbul already. But I came here for my education MBA program long time ago, and then after that I have started my first international corporate job in the
Okay.
United States, and then I built my company also in the United States.
So can you tell me a little bit about growing up in Turkey?
I think Turkey, if it is a visiting place, is a wonderful place to see enormous history of civilizations and ancient, monuments and like Biotech, it's very famous right now. Everyone wants to go see and shoot because I have seen it's beautiful. But it's more traditional, more conservative, and more close family structures that has been established. It's a good structure for some people with their support systems,
Yeah.
but also I think wholesome and old-fashioned for some people.
And are you part of a big family or?
I am a part of a big, large family from the both mother and father,
Yep.
but our core family always smaller and established into the core family line because of my father's work. And he was from a different city that moved to Istanbul, which is a much larger city. And my mom actually immigrated from past Yugoslavia. Right now, no longer Yugoslavia, but she was a Croatian background and Macedonian background. So
Right.
we are a mixed group, so that's why I said I felt my bloodline was a diversity.
Yeah, it
So
certainly is.
despite that I originated from Turkey, which is a beautiful place to go and beautiful food if you
Yeah.
enjoy food.
Oh, yes, I do love Turkish food, I have to say. But I haven't actually ever been to Turkey. So, but people I know who've visited have said it's a beautiful place.
Nice humans, nice behavior, nice human beings, like friendships, model friendships, I think. Even places they are loyal friends and loyal family members, but I believe that maybe because it is Turkish is old-fashioned, so they want to maintain the values
Yeah.
and that they respect not elders, not not like they're the different system and structure. And so they sometimes have goodness in the traditions, and I think there's wholesomeness in the traditions. And some parts of the traditions, if it is not toxic, if it is healthy, then I believe we may need to follow sometimes the traditions.
Yeah.
Even we can integrate and upgrade to the modern life as always, but our inner core, carry that, integrity, loyalty, well, and contributing to society as we are receiving back from the society. So those are basic elements, and spirituality in a way that we can keep doing things under the very difficult conditions. When we believe in it, when we have faith that something work out eventually.
And I think that's very much been a standing thing for you growing up. I know
Or
when we've
when
spoken
we're
before,
fighting.
your father was very much you can be anything that you want to be, you can do anything that you want to do, and you kind of really took that in that's really been part of your mantra, hasn't it? That
Very
you
correct.
can do that.
Because traditionally, part of the tradition, one side of the tradition is a girl or a young girl growing up in a society is very tight in the cultures or patriarchal in some senses that are there that a girl's needs more support. So my father was the individual who opposing to the traditions of the Turkish country's expectations, he wanted to diversion. He wanted to instill inside of me that if I set the goal aside, I should work hard for that, and I should not give up on that, and I should envision that I can do anything. Even including fixing my car, and just he was a mechanical engineer, so he taught me how to fix the cars and the tires, so I don't need in case of emergency and
Yep.
wait and feel victim or helplessness.
Yep.
And I think maybe he was working for the future. Maybe he had a sense of he had a heart disease, so he might have an idea about himself and his health condition, and he might be trying to make him stronger
And prepare you.
uh,
Yeah.
prepare me, which I did not the clue. And I resented South Barbara because I said, I'm a girl while you're pushing these are male job. And I used it identification of society, blue and pink,
Yep.
blue is the girl, maybe is the pink is the girl. And those identifications are in the baby boomers when I brought it with them, the toys and ornaments and
Yep.
the flowers.
Yep.
So, and they started us from the beginning. My father always had a different pull, so it was a good thing, but they found hard push, which brought me to this place. I believe without his push, even though it was not the poor community time, and without his setting goals and telling me that I'm going to go to United States for my education. I was very little and I didn't know United States on the map is. So it was a fun that she's saying something, but I don't know where is this place and I'm going to go about this. And this was something that he had to dream, but I was not living his dream of what he wants me to do. I became he couldn't even imagine that part of the dream.
Yep.
But I follow the path, and I follow the path for education. Education to learning by terms of knowledge, maybe more knowledge, not even to improve myself, maybe to learn, which gets me to the path, and that brought me to the choices into the United States, and then, my career took off, and I learned more. I think it is a divine intervention and a parent's faith in their kids, and a child's taking it to the heart
Yep.
and want to make it,
And want to make it work. Yeah. So what took you to biotech then? Because you started in kind of corporate,
Yes,
and biotech was what brought you to the bio field?
I think we all have in our careers a learning time, and nobody can be just in any place without learning the basics. So corporates is an excellent place to learn many of the applications with the budgets and management abilities and leadership abilities. You see the failing things and learn from a lot of mistakes, others' mistakes, your boss's mistakes, or learn from your own mistakes. Well, the corporate was the initial beginning because I wanted to learn, I wanted to be a leadership field, and I was a financial background that I was educated. So the biotech was the reason that I went to the biotech because my father died in age 53 from heart failure suddenly in South Turkey, and it put our family into a position that I was the oldest, and I had to step in and do something about unexpected situation that you had to provide for the family, you had to provide for yourself.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I was just a student, and many more things developed from then. That is why that life struggle has not about what you need to do.
Yep.
But at the same time, at some point in my career, I had the pleasure to meet Dr. Akasiti and Dr. Elliot Ellison. They are renowned scientists in the cardiac organoids and human cardiac structures and drugs feeding in the for drug cardiometabolic and heart failure drugs. And their science, they did a long years ago, like since 2001, it started to pay attention. And they had questions about the applications of their science. And this time I remember that my father died from heart failure, and their science could have made the precision medicine, the drugs that will make to understanding the underlying metabolic issues, and as well as the genetic issues, but also the drugs will be much more fit and precise for the patient's needs and age. So that, because I thought it was the young man, they had two other hardbacks in that, but we could see the third one, okay.
Yep.
So that is why those things cannot be just left alone, and we need to be doing something. And still, 33 or 34 years why cannot pass you instead. There is no innovation in the field and business area. The clerks still the same, 25 or 6 drugs available on that area that he had the suffering, and there's a big population that around the world suffers, and cardiac is needed to heart failure is the number one killer of the human in any country. And most of the cases that there's no sophisticated innovation and precision medicine for the different groups of heart failure patients or cardiac patients. And this is what the light team that I went and done in the years that were doing, and they wanted to contribute to the medical way. And I took up onto me saying that this is something that I'm very passionate, and this is something that I can help build the company and bring this technology through time to the public and to the industry. And that was the mission, which is my father's book was the fuel that took me to an unlikely journey that brought me to this by developing the technology platform and by working hard to build the commercialization and business and patent position globally. And this is since 2001. I think it's pioneered in the cardiovascular in human cardiovascular.
Right.
And having TED Talk in 2018, I was very pleased to have the invitation from UK and to do the TED Talk. And they brought our technology to many levels and many people. So, of course, we are competition right now. But I think good things is worth to compete. And if there's nothing much around in the industry and for some people suffering, it's still number one.
Yep.
And still all the cheaper sort of investment buying from the VC to the heart failure innovation or cardiovascular. That means we are doing the right thing. And my mission to spend my lifetime as an entrepreneur to help, support, and serve in this field is honored for me.
Yep.
Lots of learnings, but if I didn't have a father that gave me such a hard pain on the heart, and he was very young. He was 53.
Yeah.
So it is not fair for any other woman to die at that age without living her full life. Right now, that deaths are even going younger, like around 40. So when you're going to need to pay attention and that come with innovation, is the technology is right now available. We need to utilize it, and we need to also demand as a patients the best available technologies to be accessing those drugs or to question why those drugs are not there.
Right.
And I know our way. So this is my small contribution as a human, one person level, to be playing in a team of scientists and to be able to bring something worth it and bring it to the humanity. But that is how my journey started. That I cannot say it's complete or it's the success in the route, but I think all of us can take a lead and to bring an solution to an unmet need with our own skills and with our own abilities, but also our passion, determination, and grit. And if we are leaders, we should just make leadership because so many times now it's leadership.
Need leading. Yeah.
Very difficult, very difficult to lead sometimes.
And I think that is, you know, with your journey and with the work that you're doing, that passion is palpable, even through the screen. And I imagine that that's your mission now, is to be the advocate for treatments for heart disease. That's your role in the company.
But why I am the chief executive officer, also co-founder.
Yep.
And my job is to bring expertise and build the teams at every stage of the company. That also means that we are unique to drug program. It is IVS-201. This is for heart failure rejection fraction.
Yep.
And our platform is an innovation that utilizes that predictive precision-based development technology, which is an IKC technology. We can take blood or urine sample based your human mature cardiac organoids, and we are able to screen drugs on that human disease models, patient specific. And we are also able to certify the patient populations to bring that right groups to the clinical trial for the identified drug.
Right.
And that can be done for our own drug program for heart failure rejection fraction. We have one drug right now that's taking to the next stages of clinical trials. And also we can help other drug development companies or collaborate with the others to bring the other effective heart failure precision medicine for cardiometabolic diseases and heart failure. And the technology platform we have is Non-Negotiable and human nature organs that made it since 2009. We are able to alter that the collaboration, make the right partners who have the same mission, we would like to collaborate because our mission is to can only do better if we collaborate with the expertise teams. What we are amazing company for our 10-year program. As I said, though, there's a challenge in the heart failure and cardiac disorders. The key percent of the total be zero. And we said, well, it's 10 years. It should not be enough because precision medicine cancer field is very important and is very developed, advanced, because there's made significant investment in Alzheimer and the cancer field, but not happened in the cardiac because they couldn't take biopsies like the cancer field from the patient and actually rolled out the drugs and then they look into the duration of the treatment,
Right.
where how the patients are starting as a toxic and now those things are highly for the heart failure. About whenever, because technologies that can enable precision medicine like ours is already established. And also certification or patient enrichment for clinical trials for heart failure and cardiovascular disease is also amenable to all those technologies like the one of it. And they are integrated with AI, and so they are able to be cost effectively to bring the right patient groups to the clinical trials. Medical evaluation and the drugs are free and get the things especially
Right.
for multi precipitation fraction and disease.
So the data, because you're able to have a more specific subject matter group, that the data is higher and more accurate. Is that right?
Correct. And also data is based on the human patient type. Patient type information, not just from just an animal study, and then I'm making a prediction only solely on an animal study, or you are giving one drug for entire world population for heart failure.
Yep.
And more so, I wanted to be it's a effective topic because clinical trials and participation in clinical trials has to be proportionate to the patients that is going to be in that disease segment. That means if I'm a female, I will expect that from the beginning on the research, they're looking to female breasts, right?
Yep.
In the
Yep.
animal models. But
Yep.
they may not do that. They may not be doing that. And the representation is to show so the diversity in the clinical trials is important for success of the approval rates at
Yep.
the end level and effectiveness of the drug for the patients for the long term, not just for a minute right now, but a long
Long
term.
term.
A long time. And we are criminals. We will love to see the drugs are looked and take care of our, our underlying other conditions, the vulnerable level, genetics. And being female is a little different than being male. And that is why I think we don't sell different things that
I think there's one or two. Yeah.
the power to the clinical trials. And I think this is improving. In Asia, there are already coming lots of work on it, but I think start clinical trials presenting the 100% representations. Harvard studies, there are Harvard recommendations that showing the clinical trials requiring more diversity. And that is, we can search and find those studies. That is what the Harvard is
And why
indicating.
is that? Why is it more challenging to get women onto these trials?
I think it is not challenging to get women on the trials, but sometimes, the complexity of the female body, it could be costly to do
Right.
the early trials and the studies all from the beginning with a very diverse groups like animal studies.
Right.
Because it's expensive and most of the case. And when we are aged, if there's like in your heart rate, because of ejection fraction, we have aging population and aging women who want, and in the heart failure percent ejection work, the female is 51%, so it is more females in that area of the disease. So I will also remark that this is really a concerning and very significant disease for the female populations that can create instability. And so this work, and it's very difficult and expensive. And if you take the material from the family, you are going to create lots of problems for the family structure and guidance because material secure of everybody.
Yes.
Manageably, and to get to the societal issue, it is more field affected from number one country and create poverty structures. Most of the case of the person, if they are not insured, if they don't have that, the convictions of being family members. That is why I think it is important to take a look, but why they may not bring the family. It might be expensive to bring diverse groups. And also the aging population is hard to bring to the clinical trials if you don't have systems or the methodologies or technologies to represent them or they may not be able to stay in the clinical trial, and then they drop themselves from the trials.
Right.
And so it is a recruitment issue like this, but also from the many animal studies, we need to really pay attention to the diversity and representation
Right.
of the population we are going after. But also we need to know right now if we develop one drug, if the prior approach was not precision medicine in the heart failure, so one drug for everybody, if it was the approach, and it's created lots of heart failure, failing drugs at the phase 2, which is very expensive.
Yep.
That make the investing population or investing community saying that I don't want to invest in this one. I'm losing money. It's so much money.
Yep.
If there's a reversal of the trend is required, I think one successful one was a myocardia. And myocardia did a really small population trial in 2020, and Bristol Myers acquired that drug that myocardia brought into the light. And they did it with 250. I just want to be right about the number, but they had a small population that they did and meet the endpoint, statistical significance of the endpoint, which was an amazing success. But the good thing for the financial world to say this could be done.
Right.
So I appreciate that what they did, because it is harder for a less number group to do so than the more accomplished group does it. People like to repeat it. And
once you see somebody successfully done it, then there's more inclination to, actually, I'll get involved in that now because we've seen that it works.
Yes, and so investors will start coming in, and it's in the future. But I believe the issue is not only that the technology is finding out that one drug for everybody is not really much helping or working for efficiency or efficacy. Yeah. But also we have now technologies that underline that we can bring the right population groups like cancer to the drug. And other than for everybody, can go on precision medicine approach. Yep. Just like the cancer field that's been doing it, implementing it very successful, and new drugs came out. And then also, the successful drugs that insurance companies accept. So it is going to be, similar paradigm exists for some different disease model. Yeah. And it just needs to be implemented with new technologies in the heart failure. And I believe there are many other visionaries and leaderships, excellent scientists around the world seeing this issue. And they are going to be making those changes collectively.
Getting them to come together. I guess it's like anything, you can't do anything alone, it takes a village. But if you get all these great minds to collaborate in something, then you get your pathway to a cure quicker?
Well, it is not a cure quicker, but I think consciousness needs to reach that level that this precision medicine is to be implemented in cardiac. Right. And then the tools needs to be utilized. Right. Tools that is already available, developed, patented, and even though the company, tools that they are being a share competition. But I prefer collaboration. Yeah, there's when you collaborate, you lose the sight of what is really in the tool and try to tell the man better or overshadow others. Yes. And so make the most that competition if one group overshadow the other technologies, while the other technologies might have a very strong point that might be very helpful for a group of disease. Or the potential, if they collaborated, they could get there much strongly. And the pharma is recipient of all this technology. So pharma is in the best position to really accept the best or collaborate and integrate. Yeah. Different flights and the teams and to put them on a disease. So I think I see that pharma's role is the highest level leadership. Like with the investors, even though the smaller innovation of drugs will come, but pharma is always the one that is enabled feel relevant to the population.
Bring it to,
because of, very moments and sophistication, expertise, never going to be achieved in a small group. Small groups can innovate. Small groups can make technology, can make drugs. But eventually, either they have to get a real large investor to become a pharma,
Yep.
or they are going to be acquired or join to the pharma or a group of pharma to collaborate. I think this is the highest fit for the humanities based non-negotiable technologies for competition, to get the least million. It is always based in white people who has that lifestyle work on an area.
Yep.
And then bring their work as well to the team, and I let them collaborate. And there, I think this is the ultimate achievement.
Absolutely.
Together.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's my personal belief, but of course, maybe young people that different severe points on it.
You touched on it a little earlier, and I actually want to do that. I saw an article, I think it was something you were involved in, about AI and how AI is an unlikely asset to against heart disease. How?
Yes.
Well, how can AI? Because I always like to hear positive things about AI, because I'm obsessed with that it's all going to turn into the Terminator. Then there's going to be an army of robots, and the human race is going to cease to exist. And so, whenever I hear of something that's AI is going to do this, that's going to be amazing, then I like to listen. How can AI help with heart disease?
I think AI there is of course, but besides the negative and positive points, I always believe that we can make things work for humanity, and if you have good guidelines and good teams around it and good leadership, and the one way of utilizing the AI in the heart failure area for the patient stratification or patient enrichment field. And why is it? Because precision medicine approach for drug development has not been very mature yet in heart failure and cardiometabolic disease. Drug development area, just like the cancer, already very improved and growth.
Yep.
And what we need to do, we will need to bring the right patient populations that will match and will benefit from the drug that you are in development in the heart failure area the most effectively, and means that in especially heart failure preserved ejection fraction, it's just a simple sample, because this disease they call it heart failure preserved ejection fraction, and for everybody in that category is having the same disease as a general name, but there are several actual wide range of different subpopulation categories that there's different type of disease involvement. And it's one of them, for example, that now you're after is that meteor is a many fibrosis on the heart. And the diversity of fibrosis is critical for the patient populations, but also for drug to be effective on the patient population, you need to identify those groups that has the similar the disease phenotype that they like to bring that into the clinical trials. And what AI can't do it, because AI we have access, because of our medical workers are right now is very well advanced and integrated into the digital systems and the data systems. Of course, patient records are very limited with security of those, and also the anonymity of those have to access or who to access. In hospitals and medical doctors and also clinical trial groups are very much playing all that, but AI, like the advancement of the medical records, is going to be integrated with that, and will be able to utilize to be able to bring the right group of patients into the clinical trials to be able to do the drug trial much earlier stages, because we can bring our blood and urine sample to calculate our cardiovergonate to make sure patient drug cardiovergonate is possible, and it is happening. So that information with the clinical trial, your patient record systems could come together through the AI. The intricate details belong to the Arabic accordion technology that we have developed is establishing that, and how they're establishing that success for drug development and one part helping the other people to develop their drugs and initial clinical trials. And it's a pilot and, comply to databases that we build. But this will pay much more less in the future.
Right.
So AI will also help on additional, what we are measuring better with into the or bedside monitoring the devices. And in the future, it will be maybe things like we are layering on your head, and I'm hoping that will achieve everybody all the mind to get all the information. But that is also an advanced technology that is in the works, and that means that there are many ways to integrate the human information, data that is patient into the system while you are getting a treatment. Well, you can be as a medication that you are eating, with exercise that you are taking, a lifestyle. So this will be fully integrated in the whole future, but currently, basic utilization now, this is not defined yet in everybody's life. We can do the clinical trials and in those studies, and we can also do the drug development by using the strong and enabled technologies and human mature cardiac disease models that we have, like for heart rate and preserved ejection fraction, much more for the precise patient recruitment and also patient and clinical trial enrichment for the increasing success rate of the FDA approvals.
So for a lay person like me, in basic terms, AI can help get the right people onto the right part of the trials, and therefore make the data more effective, which will encourage people to continue to support the trial.
And I think it will increase the likelihood of your success rate and approval for the specific population that we are going after, just similar to the cancer. But as of now, the approach for one drug for everyone, and they just mean.
But that's not the right way.
It's not. I don't think I can say it right way or wrong way. I can say there is a much advanced technologies. So do the same thing for cancer field that has been applied. Precision medicine, well adopted, well invested, many drugs, many innovation, and lots of success rate in the healing of the cancer patients. We can do the same approach with new technologies, and then we can create, especially for the very heart diseases like heart rate preserved ejection fraction, or cardiac diseases will benefit immensely from a patient population enrichment during the clinical trials. And other than bringing maybe everybody, the finding that the right group of patients will benefit the most from the drug development is going to be the key and cost effective. So we also would like to see more investors coming and create this legacy for the future of the heart failure drug development. If there is so much development that I will question why it is still number one, why it is growing, and why it's getting younger and younger. The population groups. So, and it is 51% in our medical, 51% female populations affected from it. So maybe female investors can have motivation to come in, and the female leaders to look, and also in the healthcare sector, hospital administration, executive management, bases, who have a more representation of female leadership, they also can understand that there's a need. And maybe as they are, diversity on those groups are growing, which is not as high at this time, as they are growing and more leadership comes to the boards, the discussions will be different. Where they invest in the future, what they insist on the technology, and what they look for, or maybe they will insist on collaboration of the technologies rather than one technology taking all and the rest of the technologies are shadowed. They will say, I will have the best in my team and integrate them, and rather than just making one on the start, the rest of it is like they go away. And that might be a good team integration and expertise that's coming working. The future of workforce is collaboration, and it is not just one collaboration from one place, maybe a global collaboration.
Yeah.
Diverse teams. So with the technologies, they went, internet, as I can see each other and talk to each other from different places.
Yeah.
This is possible. I think I can see that. I mean, exactly for the future as it grows. There's more leadership comes, but we need more female in the representation to
Okay.
understand what we need in the cardiac field. And we have enough very good doctors, female doctors, expert doctors. They already know, they already deal with patients. But innovations not in their hands to give and share with the patients. They know the problem, but they don't have the solutions. They are trying to do their best. So
what's the answer? What can you do? What can you do in your current role to create more awareness and bring more women to the table for this?
I can do, first of all, as an innovation, as an entrepreneur. I have already, since 2001 in this field, as working with a heart and trying to advocate. And it's a long years to advocate. It's still not there. And this is why precision medicine is still not there. We have been really talking about long years. But now I also say that investment world, they don't really have investment because of in the past losses or
as we talked about.
So I think if we also have more female representation in the boards or hospital administrations, drug development fields, and then the executive boards, that will be able to pick technologies according to the unmet needs of the different populations.
Right.
We have I think consumer goods companies are very good because they are able to come up with the razor for female and a razor for men, which they charge more for women.
Yeah, it took me a long time to realize that you pay more for a pink razor than you do for a black one, but they both do exactly the same job, but one looks more manly and the other doesn't, so you have to pay more for that, which it amazes me.
Yeah, I'm not advocating pay more because it should be a similar level, but that is the case at this time. And the same, but both boards have also female leadership. And so we need to have more in the healthcare sector. And you can see areas for more women looking into this. Because when they see that the population, proportion of population and diversity of the population, they are going to demand that technology is also enabling the clinical trials, bringing the right groups into the population so that at the end, they are not feeling from the group that they are delivering the drugs is not really doing well by receiving that drug. And it's a very long way of developing that drug. And that is why in my case, I can continue contributing the field. I can continue inspiring other females and really couple females I met with in a couple weeks ago. They have such a diverse interaction with the AI, and they are all working on different applications. They are data scientists or data scientists, and they don't know the AI, but solving other applications that can bring it integrate, and they just need to take the lead on something in their heart.
Yeah.
That they would like to, but this is a long journey. It's not easy. It takes journey, it pays, the money of education, and there's also risk. And they challenge them. Or you tell them that on your line, they even want that complete celebrity that they want you to overcome to see your life. And that is why, despite that fact, if you start a competition that they are trying to educate you, make sure that means they are doing something important. And they are dealing with the same important things. And this is okay. It's okay because there's so much large need in the population. And you can still lead with your integrity and hope that you will find the right place, the right time. And if you keep improving and focusing on the best you can bring in the technology and the best of what you can add on and value add, and no one can match it. And that is what I think is competitive advantage we call it in the business.
Yeah.
And doing better than anyone else, and delivering cheaper and most effective than anyone else, with more passion and more grit than anyone else. And that might be the case that, I might be including the importance it's as a team. It's not me, but my team. They dedicated their lifetime as a scientist. So there are maybe some respectable scientists that have been doing their own initiations in their field. But I think the women, young women, are flyers, and they can leadership capabilities. They can do anything they would like to do.
Yeah.
So I was just in my pride. They shouldn't single out their male counterparts. They shouldn't single it's a bit that they should bring the best, and if it is male or anyone, who wants to contribute. Well, no matter what's checking up the gender, it doesn't matter. You need to bring the best into the team. And the coherent and the team function initially with their heart. They will achieve things together. They believe in themselves. They have a three together. And they can do, they can own villages. And I think they can be unstoppable. And sometimes we need the elevation to go with follow, but at the same time meet with the right groups of, conservative teams that bring the expertise, grounding and funding, and so that things, building something, growing something is very different than innovating something at the very early stage, and raising the climate is very different stages of the growth. So each growth of the company around the teams, where each team should include female leadership.
Yeah.
And not just male, but female leaderships, because their viewpoints might be different, and their needs are totally different, and they're also age groups should be different, because there's a bucket that all female is not an all female has been born entire. It is not the case. It wish to be the expertise and experience will also be integrated. And the board needs to there's more mentorship. If I am a board, I need to mentor next level female downward leaders or male leaders and bring them in. But if board doesn't have enough proportionate groups, then I have to start writing job descriptions that is not going to be preventing female to come in. Because if job description says, I want only executive who hit like $300 million, 10 unicorns, and in looking to the 10 unicorns at 300 million on them.
Yes.
So there is no female, and unless we defeat technology area, and that if that is what we are fighting against, it is a don't scenario, because they will not be there, or they will just figure out something. Oh, you didn't make it, or you didn't have this one. Well, and you cannot even experience if those kind of little experiences I've never been to.
Yeah.
And you are all creating your own self as an entrepreneur. And that is why I think we need to be mindful in the job descriptions. They look for innovation. They look for unexpected, unusual, but also tradition and guiding. If we want to guide somebody, we can guide in the parts. We can train them. And anybody can be trainable if they are good, if they are good leaders. You're going to have to listen, whether it incorporated advice, if they want to have a successful in.
I mean, one of the things that's very important to me in my job with job descriptions and with getting people out for interviews and things is very much focusing on the competencies rather than has it been done. So you talked about we want somebody who's raised 300 million.
Definitely.
But what are the competencies that somebody needs to demonstrate to show that they are capable of closing 300 million, and then focusing on those competencies that somebody can bring to the table, rather than it having to be that end number. Then you open out the field a lot more, because there are lots of women that can demonstrate those very competencies that if you've got the right competencies and you've got the skills to be able to go and ask for money, asking for $5 or $500 million is pretty much the same thing at the end of the day, right? I work a lot with fundraisers, and fundraisers it's like I have the capabilities of securing a $10 million gift. I haven't necessarily done it just yet, so I'm looking for the opportunity to go and do that. So, and competencies is very big in Europe, but it doesn't seem to be as big here in the US as for focusing on when selecting people is looking at the competencies rather than just what's on their resume. Have you found that?
I think I have seen enough leadership resume that I have to see are like the qualifications that people are looking for to invite to the board level, the responsibility. I have seen questions asked that saying, and have you raised this much before? Yeah. Or have you, are you the unicorn of 5 prior companies? If you do so, I will invest in you.
Right.
Now, okay,
as opposed to investing in what the possibility is that somebody could do. And
quality of technology or the data or what we are achieving or what we are bringing to people, they want to say a unicorn that has done 5 times, which is okay. But I would love that unicorn sitting in my board.
Yeah.
And they take a chance with someone that has been doing that wonderful technology quality, bringing an assets to the table, and they give their heart and soul and passion in it. So they're not just going to quit when their dollars are faded away, or the first time the company get into trouble, they're like the first one to leave.
Out the door. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the parachute's already ready. So
yeah, it's like been fabulous. Thank you. But
yes. I mean,
I've got my next opportunity waiting.
Yes, and I think it's just there are different levels of leadership, and not everybody is capable or wants to be on that level of leadership.
Yeah.
And what for the how you can lead technologies, developing new ideas, developing products, and while you are doing it to integrating diversity, sometimes you want to be in such a leadership thing, humble enough to work with much smarter people, but be great enough not to lose the vision, and at the same time to be able to listen and integrate and improve its focus. And sometimes, and we don't need to have ego. They're saying, I'm the leader, everyone knows what I say. To see where the weakness is, what you don't know, and keep improving. Those individuals, they can always learn, and they can always have an initial consultant to raise hired around good million and to get into a different network. Like those capabilities, you cannot be an entrepreneur and you cannot make it quite fast. Like I am such a big maker, but I'm an entrepreneur. But you need an entrepreneur to do all the work, to make sure everyone doing the work, not just to get the money. To get the money is on the bank, but if that money is not produced results, and that's the catch behind the old one. That it is not like you're expecting the same person will do all of it without any help and guidance. Sometimes can set things into already dangerous place. So we need advisors, we need board members. So we need to figure out what the lifestyle of maybe in the corporate, not level.
Yeah.
And how we integrate them, how we develop them. I think job descriptions doesn't. I sometimes feel they are written for a guy, not for a female, and it's just, I know the feeling of it, but I don't care because I'm doing the same job, and I never felt this is woman or man. This is a leader job, and I believe that I can do it.
Yeah.
But
you shouldn't have to look at a job description and look at a job description and go, oh, this means it's only a man that can do this job. It shouldn't be that, should it? It's a job description, and it's for a person who can demonstrate the competencies and the skills to do that job. It's quite sad if we are still looking at it and looking at a job description and immediately thinking, oh yeah, this means they're looking for a man.
Maybe it's a perception, but I can say statistics.
Yeah.
Because let's look for scientific way. Look into the investment world that we see, according to PitchBook, the investment world only invests like only 2% or maybe less dollars into female founders. And if especially saw the female founders, and if it is with the male counterparts, it may go to 11%, but remaining percent goes to the male leader. Which is okay, we need both. But in the population, we are 50-50, sometimes 51%, and growth numbers is a little different. We have to be mindful of the population growth numbers. And the second part is that in the healthcare, for developing the science-related, the drug, or like a reason for a female, we need to get like some female, looking into the project saying how I feel as a female, what is the needs are, different needs. So this is what our implications. Statistically, if we don't have historically over long years investment of the female founding companies, and if the leadership levels only 10%, 15%, in the decision levels only maybe less than 20% is female representations, over 20, 40, or 50, 60 years, I will just say that statistically we build up like a tipping point. The people who write the descriptions have, a dilemma or a kind of a paradox. They are writing these things for the people that are sitting around. From looking at the next person should look like. This the brainstorming look like. And if that brainstorm looks like a political ways, we need a female, we need a person, one person that also we both fit into this, laws and regulations. That's not the case. But if they are seeing that these are the competencies, but let's make this description in a way that we are bringing someone with that skill set and integrating into the team that we have. So make everyone receive and we learn and we also train. And it is an ongoing base. One thing that can never manage everything in this operation. It's a huge concept. So
it's back to it being a village again, isn't it? You
Yes.
need a village to make something happen. One person, no matter how brilliant they are, one person isn't going to be able to do it all.
But the tipping point of that past statistics and such a low investment can bring today. So we really need to be more conscious today. It's married the leadership saying that in the past this happened, how we can affect and influence to change, to be more inclusive, and to give more power, share power with the right people without being afraid of it. Because if you're a very good leader, while you're afraid of someone else coming and doing their job, you, as a good leader, why
They
are
shouldn't
you
be.
intimidated?
Yeah.
No, you should say, I'm proud of because I'm standing up. Come over here and just learn nothing. I will tell you already.
Yeah.
But the development and develop together. So, with good leadership, I see many good male good leaders, many good leaders that I admire, and I get female good leaders as well. But the male good leaders are differentiated.
They actually give compliments more often.
Right.
And they congratulate more often because they were solid. They were not afraid. They did support them more often. And I think one thing that I learned to do is a female, if I have other females, I don't need to be catfighting. I have to compliment more often.
Yes.
I have to encourage them more often. Even maybe I am behind of my own goals. If somebody gets success much sooner, or they are living this other pension, it is good for them. It is really one other light out there because we need so many more female leaders out there that are taking none of it for excellence. I know one day I'm going to achieve the same thing, and let's keep working. There will be a day my daddy will come as well. But so that taking down the other to be successful, especially in the female leadership area,
Yeah.
It's something that I think we should be mindful. So it is another thing I try never to do that. But also, I'm really mindful that I like to integrate because only male or only female inherit this whole problem. So I think integration and it comes to well to the
Yeah.
collaboration and that
Inclusive collaboration.
right and really different styles of leadership. Just not one leadership style always works. So you have to adjust and you have to learn. You have to, I think, learn lifestyle. And you have to listen to people who have something to share. Genuinely meet you. If we are with honest and they want to really do something big, sometimes you can be afraid of letting people tell you something that they are there for you. So I think these are my learnings to share with the younger
Yep.
my peers. But I wish that there's a more of the leadership coming in the female population, and they are taking more stepping into the roles that they are,
Well, we'll
learning.
have to see what we can do. We'll have to, maybe that will be part of the cause of attracting more women to come into leadership roles and take part. I actually have a couple of women venture capitalists scheduled for the podcast, and it's be very interesting to get their take on you know what women need to do when presenting themselves to VCs to increase their chances, and then have that confidence when they're going into leadership roles, to bring the people around them up with them rather than feeling necessary to kind of push them down.
Yes, and I think women and white workers are very ambition, but it's not the most difficult job because when people lose their life found out is a very great challenge.
Yeah.
And some people go to one of their that is okay for me too, but the hard work and taking care of the family and building things.
We are builders.
Yes.
The matriarch societies are builders. They want to keep the family nourished and well taken care of. They want to put the seeds like the fibers and grow communities, grow healthy communities. I just want to say that toxic, but healthy communities. So I think that side of the leadership is important to grow
Yep.
companies, leaderships,
Yep.
and healthy societies. So, and innovation. So we really, I appreciate the females who made it to come back again and
Yep.
invest others. So
Yes.
that is another part. We have to come back and invest
The others who will give a chance.
for an investor because we associate with that. We understand
Yep.
the chance, to give a chance to someone.
Yep.
Apart from opportunity, it's so important. Sometimes somebody run with it like crazy and they became the most highest success, but until that chance comes, and then the person has to appear, they will have to be willing to say, I am the one going to the, and of course they do their diligence, of course, and it's fun, but
They need to open the doors to the people I met with.
and we need to welcome other women, train them,
Yep.
advise and mentor them, and I'm never gonna say the young men also need sales mentorship because I have a son and I have a daughter both, I cannot differentiate. But I wish the best for both of them.
Yep.
And I want them to get the courage to take their own lives on their own hands and freedom of doing so in the future. That's what I wish, but
And I'm sure that you've done the same with your children that your father did to you all those years ago to make it quite clear you can do anything you want to do and be anything you want to be. And I think that is so important for young people to get that message, particularly now. Stand up for the little people as well, help other people, and fix your eye on the goal because you can do it.
And they should be fearless. They should be fearless, not to rebel to the society. They should be fearless to bring their art desire out to the manifestation. and take on something and make meetings that they cannot just go easy way, they cannot just go party, they cannot just go on have fun and enjoy and based on nothing. Some things takes time, some things takes discipline, some things are a bit conservative and traditional. They have to respect the people who advise them. But not to the blind side that if the advice is toxic or if the advice is instrumental, and they have to create there for unmet needs and lead with the younger fellows that most their ways. And I think that someone they can find their way if they see the light in others, so they're attacking that light, they can find their inner light. They are I live here. And I want to do what I want to do, and I stand up for who I am and take action because no one will rescue anybody. The only rescuer is ourselves. We rescue our own self. We pick our own self. Well, what is the need? And we said, okay, I
dust yourself off.
Yes, and now I guess I'm going to start all over again, but this is individual balance. And if they're lucky to support, support around them, but if they don't have put people around them, why can cut all those ties around? They get the courage to be so that they can commit, be there in the society and contribute positively. So that is why these for both white children, they're all different. I have a dream that they will create the best in the future, and if not, they will figure out the way.
I've no doubt they will. Your own inner light, Ayla, shines out. Just it's like a beacon. So I'm pretty sure with a mother like you, that they'll go on to do great things. As will you. I'm pretty sure that there's still a lot left for you to do. I know that this work against heart disease is really, really is your passion. And I wish you every success with it, with everything that you're doing to bring in more collaborators and more investors and more people who share that passion. I think that's amazing. I really, really thank you for your time today. I know how busy you are, and it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. And hopefully we can keep that conversation going, and I can keep an eye on how things are going for you and for Invivo Sciences.
That I appreciate and thank you for enabling me to speak and collaborating with you and learning from you is what pleasure and it's a humbling experience that we invited to your show. So
Bless
I hope
you.
we can keep in touch and good luck with your podcast in the future as well. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Well, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for listening. She Leads Biotech is brought to you by CNA International USA, a woman-owned boutique search firm based in New York. If you're looking to hire talent for your company or want support in achieving your career goals, please reach out to me at contact@cnaint.com. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. And remember, the success of every woman should be an inspiration to another. So don't be afraid to share yours. Thanks again for listening. Until next time.